Not even gonna bother looking up because I don't care. Crazy ladies, let me know in the comments. What's up guys? The wait is finally over. The new 24-karat gold set between World Famous and myself is here. This set includes every single color you could need to make ultra metallic shiny tattoos like this, or this, and even this. I'm excited for you guys to try it. This is all I've been using for the past 2 years and I absolutely love it. So make sure to head over to painfulpleasures.com and use my promo code PONY15 to save 15% off. And if you do pick up the set and use it on a tattoo, send over a picture or video to ponycritiques@gmail.com and we will feature it on an episode. Once again, that's painfulpleasures.com, promo code PONY15. Once again, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be checking out TikTok tattoos, and I don't really ever find great tattoos on TikTok. It's pretty rare. Most of the time they're bad ones, and trust me, I'm no stranger to bad tattoos. I am full of them. If anybody can critique a bad tattoo, it should be me. But either way, let's jump right into the first one and see what we've got. All right, with this one, it says PSA aftercare is important. I used an expired bottle of numbing cream on this 3-day-old tattoo and it got infected and it went septic, sleeping at the hospital. There's a lot to unpack here. The first thing is, why are you using numbing cream, expired or not, on a 3-day-old tattoo? That's kind of crazy. To me, it sounds like maybe it was already very painful and you wanted to kind of take some of that pain away, but if it was already that painful, it was likely infected to begin with. But you should never be using numbing cream after the tattoo has been done, let alone expired numbing cream. You shouldn't even really be using numbing cream at all to begin with, even during the tattoo session, because something like this could happen. It's one of those things you just gotta grin and bear it, pull yourself through it. You know, Bactine is always great, like mild antiseptics that kind of take the edge off, but something that completely numbs it, you always wanna be careful with. Also, as far as the tattoo itself goes, that's a choice. And I imagine this thing's gonna be solid black on his whole chest, which is, I don't know, that's just bananas. And that nipple is black. I mean, it doesn't look like this guy makes great choices to begin with. I'm just saying. I mean, with a Pokeball on his face, I mean, it could be cool, but I just wonder, is he trying to attract kids, trying to collect them all? If you see this guy in a van, just stay far away. Nah, I'm just kidding. But no, honestly, I'm really curious to see where this tattoo's going, if the black is gonna go all the way to his back piece and it's just gonna be one giant black blob. Hopefully he doesn't want to cover his face tattoos with the same method because that's generally frowned upon. Anyway, let's see what's next. All right, this girl's got a tattoo that she doesn't seem to be too pleased with, and I wouldn't be either. She said it's got these splotches that the artist was supposed to blend out. I don't think that's gonna blend out anytime soon. There is so much black going on in this tattoo, it's not pretty. I don't know if this is an existing cover-up because the black on the petals is ridiculous. Yeah, this one's just not very pretty to look at. I don't know what's going on with the purple in the angel's wings. It just looks like some sort of crazy infection that you'd see on The Last of Us. But either way, I would be very bummed about this tattoo, and I would bet that this person didn't check out the artist's portfolio to begin with, because no good artist should be putting out work like this. It's just very subpar, not good. And now there's gonna be a lot of work to make this thing look decent in any sort of way. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully this cover-up turns out somewhat decent, or you can always just do what the last guy did. Let's see what's next. All right, here we've got some sort of morphing or transformative tattoo, which I'm always a fan of. I think they're pretty cool. And this one starts as a goat or almost a Baphomet and turns into a wolf. Kind of odd. I don't hate it. When the tattoo is completely opened up, it is a little weird how this wolf head is coming out of the goat's head. So I don't know, I think something better could have been done with this. Just not a fan of the end result. But as it starts, it looks good. So maybe she could just keep her arm closed all the time. This is just an odd one for me. Not sold on it. I definitely think something else could have been done to make this look a lot cooler. But not much to say about it. It's there. It's not going anywhere. On to the next one. All right, this one says, cover it. It's a giant skull on this dude's back. Let's see what they do. So far, not loving it. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, nope. Not starting off great. Oh man, those blacks are so scratchy. And it doesn't seem like we'll get an end result. Yeah, I mean, even the tattoo itself, without being a cover-up, is very poorly done. And this is why some people probably shouldn't attempt this stuff, because they clearly don't know what they're doing. Please don't find me at a convention and bully me, please. I will cry. Speaking of conventions, this is my tour date schedule for the rest of the year. Nashville Villain Arts, August 14th through the 16th. Austin Invitational in Texas, September 4th through the 6th. Golden State in Pasadena, California, September 18th through the 20th. The Milwaukee Villain Arts, October 9th through the 11th. Chicago Anime Inked, October 30th through November 1st. And finally, Hell City in Columbus, Ohio, November 6th through the 8th. If you want to book an appointment, use the link below. It's pretty easy, ponylawson.com, fill out the form, and hopefully I'll see you soon. But again, this tattoo is just not great at all. I'm gonna pause this thing and check it out for a second. Are there plans to finish this thing? I want to know. Okay, so I did find the second session on this person's profile, and I will say, regrettably, that it is better than the last session, but still not great. I mean, there are still so many skull teeth on this woman's breast and arm that didn't cover up at all. You can still see a lot of the skull. So would I call it a cover up? No. Maybe like in collaboration with the old artist, maybe is more accurate. But yeah, those blacks are still pretty shoddy up top on the helmet and face, whatever you want to call that. But if the client loves it, then that's all that matters. So I think they're calling this tattoo finished, which, you know, to me, it would take several more hours to make this thing look good in my book. But you can call it abstract art and get away with it. So here we are. Let's check out the next one, shall we? And here we have another transformative tattoo, which is, I think it's T-1000 from Terminator 2. And obviously I know where this one's going. If you've seen the movie, he's got his head split open with all these like bullet holes and whatnot. So let's see how that works. Yeah, I mean, it worked. It definitely worked. It does look a little weird from the beginning. It looks like his head is kind of smushed, but not that bad. This one really lined up fairly well. It is a little weird though, because the viewers will be looking at the tattoo from this angle most of the time rather than it bent up, but still a cool party trick nonetheless. On to the next one. And there seems to be a lot of transformative tattoos today. This one is some sort of beetle on the knee, and when he opens it, it's all right. I don't mind that one at all. I like the little lines that this thing has on the inside with a little eye on it. It looks pretty dope. I think this one was a job well done because it still looks good when the leg is fully extended. And I think that should be the goal, right? These tattoos shouldn't look weird either way. When they're bent, they should look good. When they're extended, they should also look good. And this one does just that. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's super cool. It's got a lot of nice little details in there. And again, I like how there's lines on one side of it and then it's solid filled blue on the other. So there's just a lot of stuff that it exposes when it opens. Excellent job by the artist, and on to the next one. All right, here we've got what appears to be a Ninja Turtles leg panel and a Beetlejuice panel. And I'm aware of this artist that made this, always does a great job. And with the Turtles, they've got the Samurai Michelangelo, the Raphael, the Donatello, and the Last Ronin at the very bottom, which I won't spoil who that is if you haven't read it. I highly suggest it. It's a fantastic book. But one thing that does slightly bother me is the way the speech bubble on the bottom left, where it says dude, is going into the Achilles heel. I think that would have been cooler had that speech bubble been pointed up to the Last Ronin just to make it look like they're saying it rather than the person's foot. Small annoyance, but either way. The Beetlejuice one looks super cool as well. I love all the colors in here. But again, something else that does bother me about these styles of tattoos, and I think a lot of people do it, is what I call the 3-day convention leg panel. I would bet money that there is nothing going on either sides of these tattoos, where a lot of times these tattoos are done just for Instagram because it's just a flat image or a flat video. When I see sleeves like this, I wish they completely wrapped around the leg to keep your eyes moving around the entire part of the body rather than just seeing it all at once. It's an old man gripe, I know, but it is a gripe nonetheless. I mean, I do like how it is framed, but it's one of those things that it just makes it harder to add on to. If they wanted something else aside from turtles to the side, it would just be these weird segmented panels. Whereas, like I said, I would like to see these images kind of carry on around the leg just to keep your eyes moving around the body part. But nonetheless, these are super cool, and it looks like the right one is probably fully healed, I would guess. Super fun colors, and I love the idea behind it all. So good job on the artist. On to the next one, shall we? All right, this one looks to be, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this one right here because I'm assuming that these 3 middle toes are completely gone now, in which case this tattoo is hilarious. I wonder how he lost these toes. Obviously he wasn't born this way because it says 84 was when the person was born and 2004 is when these toes were lost, which is, makes me wonder how he lost just the 3 middle toes. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
I mean, these last 2 toes sure are metal. Rock and roll forever, brother. The 2 crosses on each side crack me up, you know, kind of like a little memorial. What do you guys think? How do you think he lost these 3 middle toes without touching the pinky or the big toe? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Either way, on to the next one. All right, here we have what appears to be an extremely sun-tanned hand. which I guess I just don't understand it. I don't know what the person's trying to achieve here, because if you look at the sides, it is completely brown and then it just stops and goes right to this pale color. I'd like to know what the person was thinking, because this is also going to heal very blotchy around the knuckles and the sides of the fingers. It's probably not going to look great. Yeah, I don't understand this, I guess. It just makes me wonder why the person did it that got this. I mean, I've seen blacked out hands before, but I've never seen reddish brown blackout hands. Just an odd one. I don't really know what else to say about this. Looks kind of goofy to me, but who am I to say? On to the next one, shall we? All right, here we have a color realistic portrait, and this thing looks fantastic. I love how it's faded out on top just to, again, add something to it where it's not completely blocked off. And it looks ultra realistic. I loved the cheek tones in this thing, the almost subtle brown reddish color there. It's got great contrast. You can tell the artist spent a lot of time in the hair, which is one of the first things I noticed when it comes to realistic tattoos. A lot of artists don't spend time in the hair and it just ends up looking like straw or just something that's not real. The shirt is a little bit different than the reference, but when it comes to that reference, it's hard to make that material. So I think the artist did a good job with what he was working with. When it comes to the bottom, I do wish there was a little bit more of those cartoon characters just so I could really tell what was going on rather than them just peeking up, but either way, it's a small gripe. I do like how the artist decided to add a little bit more skin tone to the actual tattoo rather than the portrait itself, where the portrait almost looks washed out. That's the sign of a really good artist. But excellent work, Oleg. You always crush it. On to the next one. All right, this one appears to be a diamond lion tattoo with an astronomical amount of glide on top of it. I don't know what the purpose of that was, but either way, to me, this lion looks like it's not gonna heal well at all. There's just so much packed in white, which, you know, you really gotta be careful with white anyway. You wanna be selective with where you put the white, and this thing is just packed so tight. I bet this thing looked good for maybe a month and a half. I would love to see where this thing's at now. I would love for you to prove me wrong by sending me a healed photo, because I just can't see this thing looking good for very long. And it almost looks like the artist put a little bit of pink in one of the gems up top, which if so, I wish that pink was a little bit darker, a little bit more contrast in there. The blue is okay at the top, but again, I think it's packed really too tight. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of this one. I think this could have been done a lot better in a different way. You know, maybe make these gems bigger rather than so freaking small. Spending all that time on something that's not gonna age well is always a bummer. And if we look at the zoomed in video, they're really not done very well at all anyway. To me, they don't really look like gems or rhinestones. They just look like a lot of white packed into a bunch of skin tone areas, which again, there's not really much structure here. I guess I'm just disappointed with this tattoo. It does say reproduction of a $50,000 diamond, but I bet this tattoo cost $500. Hopefully no more than that. I also noticed that the nose really isn't centered either. The nose kind of seems like it's sitting off to the left side a bit. Not thrilled about this one. Like I said, it kind of bums me out, but it is what it is. On to the next one. All right, this one is hilarious. I'm a fan. I think that's Jimmy Neutron as a baby with a lot of weird shit going on around him. I don't know if this is AI or not, but we'll just say it's not so I can talk about it, right? The symbols that are going around this tattoo are hilarious. And I just love how little baby Jimmy Neutron is so chubby and he's just showing off like he doesn't have a care in the world. I didn't say I loved this tattoo, I just think it's hilarious. Because it just looks like somebody drew some random shapes all around this thing and decided to fill it in purple. None of it's really symmetrical. I don't know that it has to be, but it's a choice. There is also a couple symbols that repeat themselves in this tattoo as well, like the little Aries symbol I see twice. I don't know what that symbol is. I'm not one of those astrology people. Either way, it's the little M with the thing coming down around it. Not even gonna bother looking up because I don't care. Crazy ladies, let me know in the comments. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit happening in this tattoo, and like I said, I'm not sure if it's AI or not, but either way, it's weird. Don't really know what else to say about this one, so let's check out the next one. And this one seems to be a sleeve of just a couple stars and sparkles. Again, at least this would make an easy cover up. You know what kind of sleeve I would turn this into? Just one long, black, sick-ass panther. Or just multiple small sick-ass panthers. I did read in the comments that this was her vision and it's what she wanted. I think this could have gone a lot better. I think this could have definitely looked a lot better had it been more thought put into it, we'll say. But sometimes clients really don't know what looked best. I get it's what they want, but you have to turn it into something that looks good. And if it's something that looks like this has your name on it. So I get the client has to walk around with it, but you did this to that person. Get your head out of the clouds. To me, it just looks like a giant Wonder Bread bag. Again, I think this could have been put together a lot better had you spent some hours in the design rather than just placing this all over the arm. It's just very random and sporadic. It doesn't look great. You know, I would say like maybe even use some constellations in there so there is a purpose for where these stars are sitting. You can add a little bit of shading behind these stars to make them illuminate a little bit. There's so many things that could have been done to make this look better than what it does now. But don't worry, there is still time because these are very lightly colored outlines from what I see. It's just another TikTok tattoo that bums me out. Well, that's there now and it is what it is. This is why I love TikTok anyway. It never fails to ruin my day before I start work, or makes myself feel better. I don't know which one. It's conflicting feelings. But I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. That's all we have for today. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week.